The Churchville Schoolhouse opens the door to the best education in history. Visitors to the historic Churchville one-room schoolhouse take a step back in time to watch history unfold in a restored and accessible National Register of Historic Places property that dates to the 1850s. Today, students can walk in the footsteps of local farm children from the early days of DuPage County for an authentic living history experience led by a schoolmarm from the early 1900s. A visit to the Churchville one-room schoolhouse is hands-on, educational, and fun. Participants use slate chalkboards and McGuffey readers for the day's lessons, and children will be asked to follow proper classroom etiquette. Reading, writing, and arithmetic are all practiced, and students can test their skills during an old-fashioned spelling bee. And of course, no school day is complete without recess, featuring games of the early 1900s. The Churchville Schoolhouse is a popular program for scouts and day camps too. Group visits can be arranged for service clubs, tour groups, and other adult organizations as well. The Churchville Schoolhouse Living History program is operated by the Elmhurst History Museum. Call the museum today to book a field trip or find out more information at 630-833-1457 or visit our website at churchvilleschoolhouse.org.
Welcome to Elmhurst, our kind of town, and the 22nd St. Patrick's Day Parade. I'm Ken Bartels from the Community Bank of Elmhurst, along with John Quigley from the Elmhurst Chamber, and we're here on Spring Road on a beautiful day. And John, we're going to have dancers and floats and Shriners and bands, and there might even be a politician.
Politician? How did that happen? Elmhurst St. Patrick's Day Parade, second biggest parade in the state of Illinois. Always a great thing. We've got the governor here plus some other people. You're going to enjoy it. It's a magnificent parade. And this year, a special honoree as the parade grand marshal, Elmhurst American Legion Post THB 187. It's their 99th year, so they'll be celebrating their 100th next year, but they're the grand marshals this year.
So in a town that loves St. Patrick's Day so much, we celebrate it 2 weekends in a row. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the St. Patrick's Day Parade on Spring Road on Elmhurst, our kind of town. We're here at the start of the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Elmhurst, the 22nd such parade. We begin with the color guard. And John, as you said in the opening, it's just a beautiful day here in Elmhurst.
Color guard getting a nice round of applause. And of course, our parade grand marshals coming by, Elmhurst American Legion, THB Post 187.
Well deserved. The Legion, obviously, is you also said in the opening, is going to have its 100th anniversary next year. And by the way, quick congratulations to you, John, on the Chamber's 100th anniversary right now this year.
Thank you. And we're actually only one of 3 major things celebrating a 100th anniversary. The Memorial Day Parade will celebrate its 100th anniversary on May 28th, and York Community High School is celebrating its 100th anniversary this year, and we'll see them later.
Just had the city trolley, and not the silly trolley, the city trolley. Just go by. The trolley program will be back in force starting later this year. Great success and a hit with the citizenry here in Elmhurst. Lock it or lose it with the Elmhurst Police Department.
And always popular, the Elmhurst Fire Department, while they have the most up-to-date equipment possible.
This isn't it. But it sure is classic, and it's great to see it.
And at one point it was state-of-the-art.
Yeah, that's true. Very much so.
And Ken, the Chamber's involved in that trolley program with the city. We help sell sponsorship ads inside the trolley. And that trolley in particular was to carry Legionnaires. And then there will likely be a trolley later with the city officials.
Yeah, folks, an opportunity to see these fire protection vehicles going by. You see them on the street, you wonder where they're going. You hope wherever they're going it's not as bad as it might be, but it's great to see these things and know that they're here for our protection and our safety.
And it's nice to get through a parade without having to have them fly off somewhere.
Peel off to go.
Yeah.
Go somewhere. That was last year, as I recall.
Yeah, we've had those situations where they're in the midst of the parade and suddenly we've got to open up a sideway for them to be able to get out and respond. Oh, look at that. Yeah, they're all ready. Not as many heavy coats today, Ken.
No.
Bright sunshine makes it a little warmer.
Deep crowd, about 5 deep. We're near here, the television viewing area. And as I understand it from parade organizers, it's this deep all the way down to where the parade starts several blocks from here.
And Ken, we're going to have a number of guests today, and our first guest is going to be coming over, Julie Miller from IRS Troubleshooters. Julie's a member of the Chamber Board, and she's also the chair of the Chamber's Centennial Celebration Committee. Julie, welcome.
Good afternoon, guys.
You and your husband, Patrick, are huge St. Patrick's Day fans.
Definitely.
And you're normally in the parade with cars and all that kind of stuff, but you got a little more on your plate this year, don't you?
Yes, I do. I'm very happy and proud to be the Centennial Committee Chairman, and I am also happy that Ken Bartels is serving as our Chairman of the Board this year.
Well, the Centennial's well underway. Going to celebrate all of 2018 as Centennial Year, and we've had our big gala in January. So what's next?
Next is the Split the Pot raffle, which actually be begun on our big January gala, and it will last all year. And I'm happy to say that just in 2 months, we've raised nearly $1,200 so far. So we will continue to compound on that, and then lucky winner will be drawn next January to celebrate our 100 years at the gala.
And we got some other things going on, golf outing, pig roast, all those kinds of things.
Yes, our annual pig roast will be in August this year, which is 1 month earlier than normal. And we're happy to say that we just selected a date for our golf outing, which will be Thursday, September 20.
Yep.
So we've got a lot going on. For those of you who don't know, Julie's an Elmhurst College graduate, played volleyball there. And when I left the college where I was working for Ken, I went to the chamber, and Julie was
small town.
Julie was my first intern, and then came back to serve on the board of directors, following her husband, who was on the board of directors. And then she actually is one of a select number of women who have chaired the board. So, Julie, thank you again for your service and your contributions to the community of Elmhurst.
My pleasure, and everyone look for updates regarding our centennial year. Happy birthday to us.
Yes.
Terrific. Thank you.
And we've got, Ken, one of our big partners with the Chamber, the city of Elmhurst. In many communities, people think the Chamber is a city department. It is not. But in Elmhurst, we work as close with the city on so many different things: economic development, marketing and public relations, the trolley program being another thing. And guess what? We're going to get the mayor, Elmhurst Mayor Steve Morley, to jump in as he's walking through.
Along with his alderman counterparts coming down the street.
Hi, guys. How we doing?
Good.
Doing
I
well,
noticed you
Steve.
don't have to wear a coat today.
Oh, it's a beautiful day. In fact, I left all my stuff at Roberto's, whether I wanted to or not. So we're having a great day. It's nice weather. It's actually a little warm. And the governor was only a half hour late.
Oh.
And people are throwing candy at me. It's an alderman. Look at that.
It's an alderman.
That's right.
Now, if only they did that from the dais on Monday night council meeting.
They throw other stuff at me there.
So Elmhurst is still experiencing a boom more than any other community in DuPage County.
Absolutely. We have well over $120 million worth of construction going on right now. It's about $300 million in the last 5 years, and it really shows. And people are coming to our town. We have a lot of new people moving in. I was at a breakfast this morning at Elmhurst College. There's just so much to offer here in town.
Well, we think you've done a great job. Thank you again for running for re-election. we appreciate that. And feel free to surpass Tom Marcucci's 4 terms.
Not sure I'm going to be there, but I'm doing all I can to emulate Tom Marcucci.
He does a great Marcucci impression. Want to show us a little of it?
Nah, I'm okay.
No?
You know, I'm. Here's our governor right here. Did you want him to stop by? Did you ask him to?
We asked the governor to stop by, and yep.
Let's see if he is going to stop by. I'm going to turn over the headphones to the governor.
It was nice to have the mayor, but now we've got the governor, Bruce Rauner, joining us here.
Oh, what a beautiful day for a parade, and the crowd is awesome. This is so fun. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
So I've got to ask, I heard you were ice skating this morning. Is that true?
I was. You know, when I'm up here, I try to sneak out onto that Maggie Daly ribbon there on Millennium Park whenever I can. I used to play hockey 50 years ago when I was a kid, and I loved to skate, so I got out and skated for a half hour. It was a lot of fun.
Very good.
Yeah.
So are you fired up about the upcoming primary?
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. You know what? This election is all about reforms, beating Madigan and his corrupt machine and getting our property taxes down, getting term limits on elected officials, and rolling back that income tax hike that's hurting our working families. We're going to win, and we're going to transform Illinois and bring back great jobs and a real value for taxpayers. That's what we're fighting for.
I was down in Springfield for your budget address a couple weeks ago. Anything in particular you want to hit out of there?
Yeah, no, exactly. We proposed a balanced budget. In fact, we proposed a $350 million surplus so we can paying down our old bill backlog that's been going on there for 15 years. And most importantly, when the courts approve our pension reform, we're going to give all the people of Illinois a $1 billion income tax cut. That's what I'm pushing right now.
Well, I know you've got friends that you got to catch up to down at Silverado. So
we look forward to having a little Guinness with all our friends at the end of the parade. But everybody come on out. Let's celebrate our Irish heritage. Today we're all Irish. Today we celebrate freedom in the great nation of America. We're all here as immigrants, come here for freedom and opportunity, and we celebrate our great Irish heritage in the state of Illinois. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Thanks for walking in our parade. Thanks for coming by.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
That's Governor Bruce Rauner. He's been a regular at our parade since taking office. But we got to let him get back because we're backing up our own parade. Yeah, the mayor's yelling at us now. And there's cops on bikes who are going to fine us. They're going to write us tickets if we don't get this parade going. Ken, something you know, Elmhurst Heritage Foundation.
Absolutely.
Coming up.
Elmhurst Heritage Foundation, which is the fundraising arm for the Elmhurst History Museum. Coming down here, they've got a brand new exhibit about to open. This is the Heritage Foundation board members going by here. They've got their big craft beer fest, the 4th craft beer fest, which will be September 16th. And we've got I'm getting a high sign here that Dave Oberg, who is Dave Oberg, who is the new director of the Elmhurst History Museum, in his garb as the Red Baron.
Yes, sir.
You couldn't get somebody to be Snoopy?
We got Snoopy right
Snoopy's
here.
up there.
Oh, Snoopy's
right here,
on the float. So
Snoopy's on the float, and Dave, welcome to town, and how are things going?
Going great. We're really excited. We're going to bring Snoopy and the Red Baron from the Charles M. Schultz Museum to the Elmhurst History Museum. Opens March 23rd to the general public. We're the first place that's seen it in the whole country.
And you're also going to have a special exhibit on the old Elmhurst roller rink.
We are, that's right. We're going to be, it's called Chicago Rink Rats. We're going to be looking at the Elm here in Elmhurst and some of the great Chicago roller palaces, too. We're going to have a ton of fun with that.
Terrific. Well, thank you for stopping by. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Great day.
And Victory Blue Jay and a bunch of the kids from Elmhurst College are marching along with the president of the college and his wife. And many of the college athletes are working security and organization on the parade. So they're all along the parade route. The football team and a lot of the other athletes are here.
Well, we've got Victory Blue Jay went by. Elmhurst College dance troupe here is performing.
And as the mayor mentioned, Troy, the president at Elmhurst College, had his president's community breakfast this morning. There were full house there, and he talked about how well the college is doing in an era where schools, universities, and colleges have seen a decline. They've had the biggest freshman classes and the largest enrollment in the history of the college. And once again, a trolley.
A trolley, yeah. It's his second trolley. This one, once again, more Elmhurst College students getting into the early spirit of St. Patrick's Day. As I said in the opening, you know, we love this holiday in Elmhurst, so we've got to celebrate it twice.
We have Olympia Chiropractic and Physical Therapy, and they are tossing out candy to the kids.
Yeah, Alderman Sabatino, I mean, he nearly nailed the mayor. With,
That's 2 years in a row he's whipped stuff at us.
Yeah. Let's see. You know, we went from mayor to governor. What's the next? What happens next? No, he's not here.
Well, it was Dave.
That's right, Dave Oberg. Okay, well, that'll work.
The Elmhurst Rugby Club.
That'll work. Here is the Community Bank of Elmhurst celebrating its 25th anniversary in 2018. And they are the proud sponsors of the York High Duke Band, the Marching Dukes. Coming right on your screen here, and as I understand it, John, I believe they're going to stop and play a song for our viewers and for the folks here in this immediate area of the parade. They've been coming down York Road now for several blocks, and we're going to listen to them. you to the York Dukes. We're joined by Bill Shanklin, who's here to represent the American Legion, our distinguished parade grand marshals this year. And Bill, the Legion, of course, is going to have its 100th anniversary next year.
That's correct. 100 years serving our community.
What are some of the main things that the Legion does for the community, Bill?
Well, we're here to serve our veterans in a variety of ways for helping them get health care, documentation. Sometimes we'll arrange for travel for them to get to the VA. Plus, there's other community services. We give scholarships. We do honor guard activities for civic organizations as well as our own veterans that pass away.
And, of course, the Legion building itself is open to the public
Yes, it is.
and available to the public. The Normandy room just got redone.
Yes, it did. And thanks to Home Depot, they were a big help in getting that done for us. It was done in time for us to have our military ball back on November 11th last year. It's planning again. We're planning it again this year for November 3rd.
November 3rd. Okay, that's another date on the
Yep.
on the calendar.
Yep. We're just happy to have the support of the community to keep us going. Our numbers are dwindling every year, and we're trying to find you people to come in and help us out, but not easy.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and
Sure.
congratulations
Thank you.
to you and everybody down at the Legion.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Ken.
Take care, Bill.
The Elmhurst District 205 Foundation went by us, and they raised money that isn't covered by the school budget. Great causes and Superior Ambulance with a float out here.
Yeah, absolutely.
There we go. Tootsie Rolls. Tootsie Rolls incoming. And then there's a gentleman who has my last name, Ken. It's Congressman Quigley. And actually, we're going to get the congressman to join us real quick.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Mike. How's it going?
It's fantastic. I love being here. The beauty of it is it's sunny, gorgeous, everybody's happy, welcoming, and we just ran out of candy.
I know. The last bit of it got tossed at us.
It's always sunny in
So we
Elmhurst.
appreciate it.
Sure. Well, we're sponsored by the American Dental Association.
Okay.
We're glad to be here. I got to catch up with my troops.
Always
All
a
right.
pleasure to have you out, Mike.
Happy St. Pat's. God bless.
Take care.
All right. Glad to be here.
And it just continues. You see the Dan Cronin car going by. We're going to have DuPage County Board Chairman Dan Cronin joining us.
Gotta put these on first, Dan. Well, welcome.
Just
Yeah.
wanted to say hi to my two favorite guys, Ken and John, and
They
the
couldn't be here,
Comcast
but
family.
Ken and I are sitting in for them.
Well, in any event, it's a fabulous day. I just love it. What a wonderful tradition here in Elmhurst. It's a beautiful, bright, sun-shining day. It's the beginning of spring. It's all good, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably don't have any green in your house.
Well, yeah. So my great-grandfather from Ireland, and my mother. So I'm 3/4 Irish. I got 1/4 German. That gets me up in the morning.
Sure.
And then the Irish kind of keeps me out.
You know,
at
the rest
night.
of the day,
Right. Anyway, God bless you guys.
All
Happy
right.
St. Patrick's
Hey,
Day.
Have a
thanks for
good
coming
day.
out to the parade.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it,
you.
Dan.
Thank
All
you.
right. Take care.
DuPage County Board Chair Dan Cronin, and Elmhurst born and raised kid.
Yeah, not very far from here.
No. Next up,
Down the street.
Edward Elmhurst Health. Yeah, relatives of his live within a half block of where I grew up on Washington.
Sure. Well, it's Edward Elmhurst Health and all of their great facilities in town and in the whole area. The way they have grown since the merger, and the success is just wonderful for all of us in the community.
Boy, we've had a
Yeah, this is
rush of guests coming in on us. I believe we have another of our military guys coming in to join us.
This is Legion Commander John Scudder. Welcome and congratulations to the Legion on your Grand Marshal.
Well, it's great because this is the first time it's happened. And,
Well,
Tens only happened once, so don't get used to it.
You've only been in business 99 years.
that's correct. So I think things are looking up.
We didn't have to. We didn't want to rush stuff.
Well, you had one. You wanted to get it down right, and you did. Believe me, it's a great parade.
Bill Shanklin was just here a few minutes ago and filled in our audience on a lot of the things that the Legion does.
Uh-huh.
But one of the things he didn't mention was what you guys do for Thanksgiving and the Great Lakes Sailors.
What we do is we bring down as many recruits as we possibly can out of Great Lakes Naval Training Center, and it's usually the first time off of the base that these kids can go, and they have a full turkey dinner, all the stuffing, everything that goes with it. Plus the library gives us computers, laptops, so they, for the first time in about 7 weeks, they can get a hold of their loved ones at home. We let them use our cell phones so they can actually talk to people, and it's a real good program for these kids. Get them out. Compared to when you and I were in, you just stayed there.
Yes, you did.
And so it's very nice for them, and it's a good boost for the Legion too, to see these young recruits and people that want to do something with their life and use the Navy as a propellant for that type of a situation.
Let me just jump in. We just had the Schiller team go by with the barrel run, an amazing parade float entry that they had in here.
What kind of barrel is that, John?
It looks like a root beer barrel.
Yeah,
but
it does.
If it's a beer barrel, I'm happy with that too, because the next group is actually sponsored by Schaumburger Brothers.
There you go.
So it's very fitting.
Well, it's a beautiful day out here, I'll say that much. It could go either way, but this is perfect.
So we want to encourage people to have lunch at the Legion, go there for an evening of drinks and entertainment.
Anytime, believe me.
Play bingo, rent the place out for your
Fish
events.
Fry on Friday.
That's right. Okay.
Fish Fry on Friday.
Yeah.
And it's a good place to bring your family. It's a lot of fun there. It's a family place.
Terrific. All right. Thank you, John.
No problem, guys.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
The Shannon Rovers out of Chicago, Illinois, the pipe band. Always good to see them.
Then we have Deanne Masochi, Chris Nybo, Chris, our state senator, Diana, candidate for state representative. Patty Bellick is retiring as one of our longtime state reps, and so her seat is now open, and candidates are running on both sides to run in the general election.
Of course, the primary coming up on March 20th.
Make sure you get out and vote.
Man,
One of the biggest things about being an American is the right to vote for who decides what the laws are and who governs you.
Right, and this parade is a great way to see a lot of the candidates.
Yeah. Nothing like a primary year to expand the parade, huh? Chris, obviously a former city council person, was a state rep and now a state senator.
The parade's moving by at a brisk clip, John. I have to say, this has been
they've kept them tighter,
intense by St. Patrick's Day parade standards.
They've kept them tighter than they normally do. I thought we could get in our guest speakers without any problem, but we've had to run through them as quickly as the parade's been running by.
You mentioned Patty Bellock retiring, and she is in the parade. She's not retired yet. She's in the parade as she historically has been. We're happy to have her.
Whenever I'm down in Springfield talking to Patty, if you go in her office, all of the old White Sox memorabilia she has, her family related to the White Sox.
Yes.
I'm a longtime Cub fan, lifelong Cub fan, but I've never been a Sox hater, and I like a lot of the Sox, so we get a chance to talk baseball. When she's back here coming to our events, we're talking about all the issues. So actually, the only time we get to talk baseball is when I'm down in her office in Springfield.
Well, she's had long service for our area and has been a strong supporter of Elmhurst over the years, and we thank her for her service. We'll hope to do as well going forward. Let's put it that way.
Most definitely. You hope to get somebody as strong and as good an advocate as Patty has been over the years.
This is the 22nd St. Patrick's Day Parade, formed 22 years ago by a group on Spring Road that felt that there was an opportunity to have a celebration in Elmhurst, a town known for a number of Irish kinds of activities. We haven't seen any Irish dancers yet, but we will. And there are several organizations in town that promote just that part of the Irish culture.
We got Berkshire Hathaway walking by us, one of the many real estate companies that help make Elmhurst what it is in terms of new home sales and resales.
Well, there's absolutely no question. As Mayor Morley pointed out, Elmhurst is a very, very hot community right now. With all of the commercial and with all of the commercial investments, you just simply can't forget all of the investments done by or being made by current residents as well as future residents.
Ken, I think we're going to set a record for trolley cars in a parade.
Yeah. Several parade folks could get on this one. There's not a lot of folks in this one, but yes, we have. The trolley's a hit in town. As I said earlier, there's absolutely no question about it. It's been a very successful venture for the city. The city council stepped up and approved it several years ago, and it's proven to be more and more successful each and every year. Here we have Frank Bibiano, candidate for sheriff, and P.P. Ciani, former Elmhurst mayor, and running for re-election to the DuPage County Board.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
And no sooner did you mention Pete's name than he found a microphone and a camera. What are the odds of that, Frank? That's okay. I'll pass these down to Frank.
Yep.
Go ahead, Frank.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I've got a great local guy here who's protecting our county for almost 20 years, and now he's hopefully going to be our next leader, Frank Bibiano.
Hi, everybody. This is a great event. We're having a really good time out here today.
Yeah, it's a great parade, the 22nd one, and it's funny how election years, they tend to be a little bigger. I've never understood how that works.
I come to every one. I'm a local resident. I live just down the street, and I'm pretty proud and happy to be here.
Absolutely. We're delighted to have you, and it's a great day for Elmhurst, and it's a good celebration.
Absolutely. You know, Sheriff Zeruba, after 45 years of service and 20 years of elected service, is retiring this year and supporting Frank. So to have somebody from our own hometown, I think, represent Elmhurst, I just couldn't be more prouder. So Frank, thanks for stepping up and running for this, and hopefully we'll keep with you there. We'll keep our county as safe as we can be and keep the guard up, because Elmhurst is a great place. We want to keep DuPage County.
Well, you got a big contingent.
Oh yeah.
Big contingent.
Well,
That's
the DeCianis and the Bibianos are out together.
A lot of friends and family and supporters, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Rest of the parade.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ken. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
God bless.
And then we've got the mix with Chick-fil-A as among their sponsors. And York Township with the supervisor, John Vale.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Hi, guys. How you doing? Love you guys. Happy St. Patrick's
The candy is flowing.
It is. There is tons of candy.
Candy is flowing.
Why, thank you, John. We appreciate it. Our township supervisor making sure we have some candy to bide our time. And, of course, the township there are 2 townships. He's the York Township. There's also Addison Township serving Elmhurst. So the senior transport going by, just an example of some of the services that the township takes care of that the county or municipalities might not be able to provide their residents. So we haven't actually had much time, Ken. Let me quickly hit some of the parade sponsors. Emerald sponsors, City of Elmhurst, O'Connor Garage Door, Larry Roche Family Auto Group, ICI International Contractors, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Koning, Rubloff Realty Group. That's the group that just went by us. So those are our Emerald sponsors. And our Platinum sponsors, Community Bank of Elmhurst, Doc's Victory Pub, Elmhurst Memorial Hospital, Riley's Gathering Place, Schaumburger Brothers, Silverado Grill, and Spring Inn.
Well, and you mentioned folks that went by us while we're talking with a number of our special guests today. I want to make sure that folks understand that this program will air on Elmhurst Arcana Town. It'll air starting after March 17th, so about a week from now. It'll be on Sundays at 3 and Saturdays at 2 at both Comcast Channel 6 and AT&T UVerse Channel 99. And then it will go to ElmhurstTV.com after that, where it will live forever.
Yep. Joe Cantori, our Forest Preserve rep, just went by. We've got another performing coming up here. You can also go to ElmhurstStPatsParade.com, and there's a lot of stuff up there as well.
Exactly. Yes, and it's going to be all over social media. A lot of it probably already is. Here's the band of brothers, pipes and drums.
And our pipe and drums in their full garb, it's actually comfortable for them to be wearing what they're wearing. Normally, I give them all the credit in the world for being able to march in that.
I'll take your word for it. This is our good friends at the Elmhurst Independent. Do a great job covering Elmhurst and pretty much just Elmhurst. The Elmhurst Independent is where you want to go for local information. There's Pete Kruger coming by here, the publisher,
and we're getting our picture taken. How are we doing, folks? They just celebrated their 15th anniversary as a paper. Pete's family were the original owners of Press Publications and the Elmhurst Press back in the day. His grandfather and then his father, Mel.
It's Tailgate. One of several.
And no mugging for the camera. That's our job. Wow. And that dog said no to a treat. That's a finicky dog. Unfortunately, my 2 are left at home for today. All kinds of shapes and sizes. There's nothing.
And there are dogs, too.
Yeah. There's nothing like coming home at the end of the day and that tail's wagging at the door. But if your dog's going to be alone all day, there are plenty of places to take them to here in Elmhurst,
sure
including Tailgate.
Yep.
For a play day. And then let me get back. Gold sponsors. Casco Communications, Chicago Blues Hockey Club, Deanne Misochi, candidate for state rep, Elmhurst Dentistry for Kids, Euclid Beverage, Fitz's Pub, Fitz's Spare Keys, Fitz's Thirsty Ironman, Fitz's Bulldog, Hamburger Jones, Lakeshore Beverage, Olympia Chiropractic and Physical Therapy, Roberto's Ristorante and Pizzeria, Senator Chris Nybel, Superior Air Ground Ambulance Services, and the Spring Road Business Association.
Here's the Elmhurst Park District, the award-winning Elmhurst Park District, doing a great number of park improvements and renovations this year, I understand, and obviously just another one of the really great parts of the city of Elmhurst.
Well, they're looking at a number of things. They're looking maybe in partnership with the city for an indoor facility. They're looking at renovating a number of the parks.
Impact Dance Company, which is a Park District Dance Company sponsor. They've got a large contingent here.
And then, of course, they're going to market Courts Plus, which is actually a for-profit entity that actually makes money that the Park District can use to fund things that aren't funded as part of the tax dollars.
Well, and Elmhurst has become extremely fitness-oriented as a community, I think.
We've got a special visitor. It's not going to be an interview, but yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Well, one of us looks dressed appropriately. Yeah. I'm not going to say who.
Good to see you. I don't know, I haven't felt this popular in a long time. Lots of folks today.
And then what a parade wouldn't be a parade in Elmhurst, is certainly for St. Pat's, without somebody from Medina.
Well, I'm going to keep score this time in terms of how many different Medina apparatus go by. We've got pretty traditional motorcycles here right now, which are impressive enough, but when the flying carpets and stuff go by, it's always good to have them. They do great work. Nice collection of Harley Davidsons.
And our silver sponsors, Algram Funeral Home, Alpine Creek Dental, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Cantori Enterprises, Chicago Records Management, Chris and Kristen Healy and family, Dan Cronin, DuPage County Chairman, Elmhurst Goldfish Swim School, Elmhurst Independent, Elm Sales, Frank Bibiano, Friends of Jim Caffrey, Full Bologna Deli, LW Reedy Real Estate, Mama Maria's Pizza, Nero for DuPage County Board, PTC Annie County Board, Posita Pizza, 100 South Chop House, and Steve and Nancy Morley, and Tailgate. Again, a number of those just walking by us.
Absolutely. And why are sponsors important to a parade like
this parade costs about $40,000 to produce, and the city provides a grant in the range of around $18,000. So that means more than 50% of the revenue has to be funded by sponsors. And the Spring Inn, one of the traditional bars down Spring Road.
Yeah, one of the older ones, and been a participant all along.
And we have a county board candidate, Steve Nero, bringing in the Cubs car. That's sweet.
Yeah, pretty good.
You know, Ken, a lot of people have jumped on the bandwagon since they won it all.
Did they? Oh, they did? Oh, that's right, they did.
Yeah.
I heard something about that.
Well, we had Tom Ricketts out for a multi-chamber lunch a couple weeks ago, and he was out in 2012 telling us how he was going to rebuild the franchise, how he's going to rebuild Wrigley Field, how he's going to rebuild the minor league system, and how eventually they were going to win a World Series. And they've done that, and they're going to win some more.
Well, they've done a great job with that franchise, and thank goodness.
And then Ralph Pachanio driving his cruiser for the Kiwanis Club of Elmhurst.
Club. And the Kiwanis flag, their traditional flag, and we've got our cameramen set up in the streets to do the under flag. I really enjoy this when they do that. The flag goes by, as you see right now. It's a shot from under the American flag, ladies and gentlemen, and we're delighted to have the Kiwanians here and their flag presentation ceremony. Traditionally, this
I'm going to guess the little kid on this side isn't a Kiwanian yet. I'm going to say he's underage.
No, but he looks like he's doing a great job.
Yep.
The Kiwanis flag historically ends the Memorial Day Parade, which is coming up on May 28th. And what year is the Memorial Day Parade, John?
100. Isn't that a nice round number?
You know,
a lot of things seem to be hitting 100.
Yeah, we're in Elmhurst. We're right here in the sweet spot here. Everything's turning 100. The college will be 150 years old in 3 years. So there's just when you think back on Elmhurst history, we're getting to some pretty significant milestones for a lot of organizations and groups.
And we had the Elmhurst Family YMCA going by, an organization where I ice skated, I played basketball, I swam.
All at once?
Yes. It was the modern version of the Ironman.
I think so. L.W. Reedy Real Estate, downtown Elmhurst, one of the oldest real estate companies in town, and one of the largest as well.
And there's Larry driving the car.
Leo's driving.
Oh, Leo.
Larry's marching here somewhere, but Leo's driving, so. As we mentioned, the real estate companies in town, many of them family-owned and long-time businesses.
Multi-generational.
They are part of the reason, along with strong city government and the community's great location in suburban Chicago. They're a big part of the reason why property values in this town have historically been absolutely great. And here we have a train. It's not a trolley, but it's a good-looking train.
I like that ride more than the trolley.
Pretty well populated, too. Pretty well populated.
You wanted Irish dancers? You now have them.
I absolutely did. Yeah.
The Mulhern School of Irish Dance. And again, that's tough enough to do on a non-moving platform, let alone on that.
Well, and these dance companies in Elmhurst have produced some world champions, national champions, world champions. Pretty significant and just terrific.
Ken, one of the things I wanted to mention as part of the Chamber's 100th anniversary is we are in the middle of production of an Elmhurst-opoly board game that mirrors the better-known board game. We've already sold all the sponsorships for it. We're getting ready to send that game off to our manufacturers in Cincinnati, Ohio. And by June 1 at the latest, we will have 1,000 Elmhurst-opoly games to go on sale at $25 a game, tax included.
Featuring, I believe it's 72 or
75
different 75 organizations, businesses, and individuals in our community that bought places on the board.
Correct. For example, instead of the railroad properties on a typical board, the Park District will do one promoting Barron's Park, one promoting the Wilder Mansion, one promoting Courts Plus, and one promoting Sugar Creek Golf Course. So it's going to be all about Elmhurst. I think they'll sell quickly. So when you see them on sale, you'll be able to go online to the Chamber's website and purchase them. We'll have game stores in town selling them. Other retailers will sell them. I assume a number of the sponsor locations will have them for sale as well. So Elmhurst-opoly coming to Elmhurst soon.
Great early Christmas gifts.
Yes.
Yeah, here in March.
Great graduation gifts. High school, college.
Right. Pozzi de Pizza. Outstanding restaurant just south of the tracks on York Road. Has their, actually, I guess it's their catering vehicle.
Yep. I don't suppose they have a pizza in there?
I don't know, but the vehicle itself looks good enough to eat. It's all the green in the crowd and on the decorations and whatnot all speaks to St. Patrick's. St. Patrick's, the patron saint of Ireland, of course, and I read some interesting things about St. Patrick's Day myths, among them that he drove all the snakes out of Ireland when in fact there have never been any snakes in Ireland, so it was a relatively easy thing to do, I guess.
Maybe he was referring to the British who were in Ireland at the time.
I don't know. So I do know, I can see in the shot that we have on our monitor right now, it's another trolley, John.
Wow.
I think that's 4, I believe, now. So
I think all of Chicagoland's got to be out of trolleys right now.
When in doubt, put a trolley in the parade. I think it's a good idea.
And Ken, while we promoted the fact that the Legion is the Grand Marshal, let's hit real quick on the Grand Marshals that preceded the Legion. So we had Elmhurst Mayor Steve Morley, Elmhurst College, Illinois Governor Bruce Rauner, State Senator Kirk Dillard, Elmhurst School District 205, Kickoff for Kids, Elmhurst Children's Assistance Foundation, Kiwanis Club of Elmhurst, Elmhurst Memorial Hospital, Congressman Peter Roscom, DuPage County Board Chairman Dan Cronin, Spring Road Business Association, former City Manager Tom Borchert, St. James Ewald, former Mayor Tom Marcucci, and then the 3 people who helped organize this parade, Doug Kuster, Frank Catalano Sr., and Charity Pagoni Algram, Congressman Henry Hyde, Dan Gibbons, Joe Newton, Jim Ryan, and the first Ruth C. Morris back in 1997.
There's John Nolden, a guaranteed rate, also in the city center area south of the tracks.
And one of the things I like, Parade, is cars from my era. And that's a Cadillac from my era. Or should I just call it a boat? That's a 2-door. They would have needed another 12 feet to make it a 4-door.
Shazad Mehta of Mehta Motors driving that classic car. That's like 3 spaces downtown.
That's a big car.
My goodness.
But it's okay. It gets like 3 miles to the gallon.
Yeah, well, the front end arrives about 3 minutes before the rear end does. But here we have a gentleman on stilts, I think. Either that or he's the tallest man in the world. So delighted to have the Triton Troopers, the Triton Community College Circus Troop.
And again, if I thought dancing on a moving platform was hard, that's even more difficult. And we have Jim Caffrey for state representative. As I am a dog lover, Ken, I'll say from what I've seen here, both in the parade and from people walking around, I think there's been a resurgence in golden retrievers.
It's been a number of very friendly dogs go by in the parade today. Goldens and everything else I can think of, frankly.
We actually have a comfort dog right behind us right now. Carrying a vest that says, "Please pet me."
Sure enough.
And all the little kids are coming up. And that dog is about as calm, as likable as you could want. And boy, you can see the kids out there with their bags open for candy. And as you said, Ken, seemed to be a lot more candy this year. And people seem to be prepared. I tell people you need at least 5,000 pieces of candy if you're going to come out here. 10,000 preferred.
Been talking about all the color green in the parade. Speaking of green, Elmhurst College is having its recycling extravaganza coming up on April 28th in their Alexander Street parking lot. They will take a variety of items, recycled, reused, acceptable items, electronics of all types. A lot of times recycling events won't take electronics, but they will. Building supplies, clothing. So that's April 28th at the Elmhurst College Alexander parking lot from 9 to noon.
And Ken, look at these clowns. What are they doing? Oh, wait a minute. They actually are clowns.
Yeah, that's
another of the Medina contingents.
Yep.
These guys have to walk, though.
Oh, they're only pretending to walk, John. Well, as we said, there's Medina Shriners, and they do wonderful things, and they do it in all sorts of different ways. Contingents from Pints. So happy to have them here in the parade. They are also strong supporters of the Elmhurst Craft Beer Fest that we mentioned earlier, benefiting the Elmhurst Heritage Foundation, coming up in September.
I'm going to go open up a bar that just says kegs.
Kegs?
Yeah, pint's not enough.
Unlimited happy hour. I think they've been in every parade, both of them, since their inception.
Regular at the Memorial Day Parade and post-parade ceremony.
Right. Chicago Blues Hockey. One of two, I believe, youth hockey teams in town.
As a Blackhawks fan who didn't like the St. Louis Blues, it's hard for me to do the Blues, but that's okay. It's a great-looking jersey, though.
Yeah, it is a good-looking jersey, and a strong, large contingent, too.
And there are some of them who are actually skating.
Yep. Yep.
And one of my alma maters is next, Ken. Immaculate Conception Grade School. Class of 69.
Can you film here? This is on TV. This is on TV. Yay.
Immaculate Conception Grade School and IC Catholic Prep. Two strong programs here in our community. IC Parish dating back to some of the earliest days of Elmhurst as an incorporated city.
And we talk about the importance of education in our community. We have a great public school system serving thousands of students from first grade on through high school as a community unit district. But then we have Immaculate Conception, Timothy Christian, Emmanuel Lutheran, Visitation, and all the preschool that are out there.
Exactly.
And you might recognize these guys, state champions.
IC Catholic Prep.
I almost went to Northern Illinois to watch the game that Friday afternoon, but I ended up watching it on TV. And I go back to the school days when there was no state tournament.
Yep, sure. Well, they've built a fantastic athletic program at IC Catholic Prep. And, they're very, very strong across the board now.
Yep. Well, this championship team lost their star quarterback at the start of the year.
More than one.
Yes.
I think they lost more than one quarterback.
Then the second kid went down in game 3.
Right.
And again, the rebranding to IC Catholic Prep a few years ago from Immaculate Conception High School. Class of 73 for me.
Well, you know a little bit about rebranding since you just completely rebranded the chamber. So
we did new logo, new taglines, a readjustment of our name. new website. But, as you said, 100 years only comes around every 100 years. So you got to do it. And we have the superheroes out here. Run for the kids. DuPage Easter Seals. DuPage and Fox Valley Easter Seals.
I want to bring up a couple of programs that are coming up. One from the police department, one from the fire department. The police department will have a prescription drug take-back day. So all those drugs you have in your medicine cabinets that are outdated and no longer being used and what have you, you can drop them off on April 28th from 9 to noon. Also at the same location where Elmhurst College is doing their recycling. And of course, there's a permanent drop-off box at the police station. And then the fire department's asking residents to adopt a fire hydrant and make sure that it's clear of snow. Hopefully we won't have to worry about that anymore this year, but snow and other debris or grass or weeds, keep it clear. And if you're interested in wanting to adopt the fire department near your house, just simply call the fire department and they'll be able to tell you about that program. Here's Chris Kennedy, a Democratic candidate for governor in the state of Illinois.
And do not flush those drugs down the toilet.
Absolutely not.
Don't.
No, don't do that. It's part of the reason that the press is to move into a recycling for medicines that you're no longer taking. So.
And by the way, I believe that's also valid for your pet medicines. I have more uncompletely used pet medicines than you can imagine, from earaches, nosebleeds, whatever your dog might get into, or your cat, or your goldfish, or your bird, or your snake, or your lizard, whatever you may have.
Candidate Chris Kennedy working the crowd, going up and down the streets here in Elmhurst.
And our second hockey club, the Chiefs. We're trying to extract the cameraman from a dog leash.
Was the cameraman on the dog leash?
He actually is tethered in a way.
Yeah.
Because they'll wander off if you don't keep an eye on them.
Yeah, the Chiefs are kind of rocking here, John.
Yeah, I got to laugh, though. That music's a little like before they were born.
Absolutely it is. Yeah.
Not that I like the song. I'm just telling you, those kids weren't born when that song was aired.
Well, at least some of them. But the coaches were.
Yes.
Another large contingent. That's a big group. They're still coming, actually.
Well, as you do know, the weather not only affects the crowd watching,
yeah, that's right.
It affects those people marching. Because you get up and there's still 3 feet of snow on the ground and you might go, oh, well, I think I can miss this year's parade. Wow, there's a jacket. But it's okay. The bright green shirt underneath makes that orange look terrific.
And here we have the Shriners and the Cooler Brigade.
I've told you that this has become my favorite.
Yes.
I would love to have that around the house, in the yard when I'm doing yard work.
I'm guessing you could get one of these, John. It can't be impossible to get one of these. Take your tax refund this year and get yourself a
Tax refund? Who gets a tax refund? I was hoping that my Blue Cross Blue Shield would cover it for my bad knees.
Cruisin' Coolers. Just another example of Shriner ingenuity. And this has got to be School of Rock. It's the only thing I can figure. I think it probably is.
And apparently that trailer's a lot heavier than we think, because it's pulling that Denali down.
A lot of folks on the trailer.
It's a beautiful day.
School of Rock, a very successful franchise here in town, and actually located in a former location of the Elmhurst Chamber. So.
Oh, we've got Star Wars.
Star Wars.
With a Mario guy.
Yeah, I don't remember that crossover.
I think it's Star Wars 10.
Yeah.
The Mario Brothers attack.
It's the
And
Trinity Academy of Irish Dance coming up the straight.
Yep.
Another large contingent of Irish dancers here in Elmhurst.
The banners are almost getting too big to get across the street.
Well, you know, I've been noticing that the crowd side, the depth of the crowd, at least here in the area where our cameras are set up, has just been growing as the parade has gone on. And we're well into the second hour now of the parade.
Really? It's only been an hour plus?
Yeah, about an hour, not quite an hour and a half at this point, John.
Well, good. We're going to hit my goal of 2 hours or more. Because you know how we like to be out here.
A lot of energy expended in this Irish dance.
And I'll say this. The reason they hesitated, they wanted the area clear so they could perform in front of the cameras.
Of course.
And that's great. That I want our performing groups to perform in front of the cameras.
Absolutely.
As opposed to just walking by.
Right. And it's also a good way to stay warm.
It is. I tell people the easiest thing was when I walked in this parade 3 times. You know, I'd walk with the chamber, double back, walk with the college, double back, walk with the Kiwanis. I go, that's the easy thing. You stay warm. Sitting at a table watching a monitor and looking out over the monitor, it gets cold. And usually on the float, they'll display some of the trophies. I don't know if they've got any of them up there.
I don't see any, but
World champions.
Yep.
Trying to figure out if that was a Vizsla or a Weimaraner. Cute dog. Oh, and you want vintage vehicles, Ken? Here are some vintage vehicles. Look at those double baskets. Oh, the old Stingray style.
Yep. Yep. I think the last one's probably the oldest of the group.
Yeah. Schwinn had the Stingray, and then there was a knockoff called the Spider back in the day.
We had the Cubs car earlier. Now we've got the Sox van. Southpaw visiting the area. contingent in Southpaw right there in his garb, his Irish garb, along with a whole contingent of Sox folks in green. They have a active halfway to St. Patrick's Day promotion, and they made it. Almost. Almost. Another week to go. You want the coolers, John? I want these things.
You do? You really?
Yeah, I think. These
See you scooting around downtown Elmhurst.
Oh yeah, why not?
Community Bank to City Hall Bank.
Right, yeah. I probably would fall off, but it'd be worth a try.
That was a nice segue, though. Come on, you gotta laugh.
I did inside. Well, speaking of classic things, I think we have another classic thing coming up here. It's a classic squad car.
And that's an old Bonneville, I think. Pontiac?
Yeah.
Or it might be a Le Mans.
I guess that's appropriate that a squad car would lead the Republican candidate for sheriff.
Yep, and it ended up being a Le Mans.
Yeah. James Mendrick, candidate for sheriff.
Yeah, that's my car era. So once again, as you see, we have a number of candidates in the parade, as you might expect. We encourage all of you to get out and vote in the primary. It's imperative.
Well, a lot of people stay home from the primaries, and I'll vote in the general. But if you don't vote in the primary, then there's no guarantee that the candidate that you
want
really
is going to be
vote
there in
for
the
is going
general.
to be in the general. So.
While the last several presidential elections have had 50% of the population voting, that's still not good enough. And locally, it's even more important that you get out and vote for your local candidates.
I did not actually see the candidate. I don't believe he was here, but nice contingent of his supporters.
Thank you. I have met both candidates.
The Silver Knights Baton Twirling Corps. Champions, state, regional, and national champions.
I always mention how my sister was a baton twirler in her youth. And I'll be honest, I never thought baton twirling would come back. It's not easy. I tried it back then. All right, I think we're going to have a race. On your mark, get set, go. Oh, I think that one jumped the gun.
And just when you thought it was safe to come out, the Shriners arrive again. And here they are in their mini Chevrolets, classic cars. There was a couple of miniature 1957 Chevys there, I think.
There were. You know, all these years I've never asked, do the riders have to buy and own their own vehicles, or are they Shriner owned?
No, they buy their own. Whatever it is, whatever vehicle it is that they choose to ride, and we're getting another setup here pretty quick. They buy their own. So they bought their own Harley. They bought their own cooler. They bought their own.
Well, the Harleys I figured they bought because those are regular motorcycles. But like if you've got the mini airplane or the rug, you know.
Yeah, the flying carpets.
And where do you go to buy a flying carpet?
I don't know, but since you're so bent on getting one of those cooler ones, you need to check this out one of these times. J-Dog junk removal and hauling.
All military.
Yep, first time in the parade. I'm quite confident of that.
All active or retired from the military service.
Here we have fire wagons, miniature fire wagons. There's just no end. I mean, it's just.
And let me tell you, that fire wagon in the lead, that guy was peeling down the road earlier today.
Yes, he was.
That thing moves.
Yes, he was. Yeah. Well, it's like they always say, everybody loves a parade, and St. Patrick's Day is absolutely perfect example of that.
Well, we've got people taking pictures with themselves with a Guinness bottle.
A Guinness bottle, yeah. Well, you don't get to do that every day.
No. Now, you think if...
well, not with a Guinness, walking Guinness bottle.
Yeah.
I guess you could get your picture taken with it regular.
You know, I was hoping our friends here at Euclid Beverage that are promoting Guinness right now, like, is there a chance a case would fall off the trunk?
Yeah.
On to like this table right here.
Kind of like the people giving away candy, you mean?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I think that we should suggest that.
Well, apparently we don't look old enough to have an adult beverage.
I'm afraid I'm not buying that one, but there's probably some law against that, John, you think? Here is the room upstairs, escape room concept, right in downtown Elmhurst above the York Theater.
I know people who have done that. They did it in other places and then also got to do it here in Elmhurst. Said it was a ton of fun to do.
It's a really unique experience, and I believe now they started with one. I believe now they have three distinct and different escape room experiences upstairs. So it's a nice little addition to the downtown.
And my question would be, what if your group can't escape?
Well, that would be bad for business, I would think.
Yeah. And they're shooting hoops from everywhere.
Yep.
Now you gotta let TV do it here. Come on. Oh, now you're too far away. Ah! They waited until I got too far away.
Yeah, well, you were sitting down too.
I know. And we have the Village Choppers drumline out of Hoffman Estates. And they opted not to walk. I'm not bouncing that drum off my hip all day long.
Now we got the Shriners Car Club.
37 Buick four-door convertible.
34 Chevy, followed by another Cadillac.
34 Chevy. Wasn't that your car out of high school, Ken?
Yeah. Right.
And again, a boat of a car.
That's 2 cars.
My goodness.
That's 2
holy
cars.
cow.
That's not a car. That's 2 cars. Some cars could fit in the trunk of that car.
I knew they were big back then, but they seem like, oh, boy. The Ranchero?
That's not a small vehicle either.
No.
But they were all there. I mean,
But it's not a 2-door sedan.
That era, just, they were all big and massive. And
yeah. You got the 66 Charger.
No seat belts in a lot of them.
Oh, no. with the hideaway headlights.
Yep. Yep.
Great lines on that car. Oh, I think one of the cameramen just said, "Where are your headlights?" They're hideaway.
It's a little, not quite as vintage here, but
a classic.
A classic, no question.
Corvettes from almost any era are classics.
Yeah. Very true.
And of course, I'm amazed that many of the muscle cars from my era are now back. Only now they have power steering and air conditioning and all the ups and extras that you couldn't get back in the day, where you had to make sure you jam that brake pedal all the way down to the floor to get the car to stop. The Mustangs, the Chargers, all of those cars have come back.
GTOs,
T-Birds.
Yep. Now you can see in that shot that we're looking at right now, you can see the collection of vintage automobiles, and you can see more parades still ahead of us.
95 Mustang just went by. Another caddy.
Yeah, that seemed to be, Cadillac seemed to be pretty popular here today.
I look at those things and I go, boy, I don't remember garages being bigger back then. How did you get one of these in a garage? I don't think that 39 Chevy, I don't think that's the factory color.
No, I don't think so either.
MGB, nice little sports car there.
Yeah, you realize when the big Cadillacs go by and then you just see that go by, how much lower he is to the road.
I just put it in the trunk of the Cadillac and take it home.
Chicago Highlanders, pipes and drums. We welcome them back to the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Some students from Fenwick High School following up there.
I owned a home a couple blocks from Fenwick for a while.
Beg your pardon?
I owned a home a couple blocks from Fenwick for a while. Oh, Kilwins.
Well, it's another group that could be considering free samples.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, is that a big chocolate bar or something?
Bet it is. Yes, that is.
I'll take that big chocolate bar if that's a real chocolate bar. You got ice cream in that tub? Oh, come on. I think they've already given away everything.
I think they have too.
Yeah.
Well, we are, we're close to the end of the parade, so. And here we have the Elmhurst Armpit Orchestra and their conductor Scott Lamort, a fan favorite here at the parade with the largest drum in the world. And this year they're also raising funds for a scholarship in the late Darrell Whistler's name. Oh, we are.
Gotta have more cowbell.
Yeah, these guys have a good time. They practice the one, they know 2 songs, I'm told. They're doing neither one of them, but as I understand it, they know 2 songs. They're a unique group, to say the least, and they have a lot of fun, and
And believe it or not, people, they have not been drinking. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
You could not do this if you'd been drinking. And there's Alderman Mulliner.
Yes.
Who's been getting grief all day for dressing like Tom Selleck.
Yeah. You can't make this stuff up.
Oh no.
This can only happen in real life.
A couple more classic cars. The Barracuda. Roadrunner.
Didn't have a Roadrunner. I had a Charger.
I had the Cutlass. But I had friends with Trans Ams and
GTOs, Cougars,
Plymouth Fury.
Yeah. Dan Roche Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram.
The Pro Masters.
O'Connor Garage Door Solutions. And here's a contingent for Governor Rauner. He was obviously with us a while ago. He must have just been walking quicker.
He wanted to walk with the city officials, so he was up with the mayor. Jim Dodge for state treasurer. We actually had the state treasurer at the Elmhurst College this morning for a meeting.
Here are the Medina Highlanders. We're just going to listen to them. Many of these groups, of course, will be in the Chicago parade next weekend, and so you can check them out and see them there as well.
Chicago does a parade?
Yeah, that's what I've been told. Somebody told me they even dye the river green down there, but it's probably a rumor.
You think that's dye?
Jeff McKay for Circuit Court Judge. Elmhurst Toyota.
And car dealerships huge to the Elmhurst economy.
Oh, absolutely.
Generating almost 50 cents of every retail sales tax dollar. Senior economist for the Federal Reserve Bank reported that car sales are down slightly, but the sales of SUVs, trucks, vans, all that are up dramatically. And Jeannie Ives, candidate for Republican candidate in the gubernatorial primary. You know, Ken, I remember when we only got city politicians in the parades.
Well, I told you in the opening that I thought we might see a politician or two today.
And then we got township, and then we got county, and then now we're up to state. Sure. We got a little break in the action here. Come on in. So, 22nd Elmhurst St. Patrick's Day Parade. We don't have quite the sun we had before, but still phenomenal so far. Everything you can imagine.
Absolutely.
You can watch it on elmhursttv.com, but it will also air on Channel 6 of Comcast and Channel 99 of AT&T Uverse.
Starting next weekend, Sundays at 3 and Saturdays at 2.
It gets linked from the Chamber's website as well. I believe it gets linked from the ElmhurstStPatsParade.com website. Go to that website for all kinds of photos and things like that. So there's all of that up there. And it's Elmhurst and it's St. Patrick's. And it's just a great day to be out and get to know your community and have that feeling of this is just another one of those things that makes Elmhurst special.
Well,
schools, museums, the hospital, the college, the park district, the library. There's so many things that make Elmhurst special, including our major parades.
And including the people that put those parades on. Not only the sponsors, but the organizers and all the volunteers and the parade marshals and the people that spend an entire year getting ready for today. And we have to thank them too. This is a community loaded with people who get involved with specific activities and organizations and just make them shine.
And we've got Journey Church coming by. And, oh, by the way, churches. There's only 30-some churches in Elmhurst that go back to the founding of this.
Absolutely. Evolution Dance Experience, another dance company in Elmhurst.
I got news for you. The teachers at Evolution are having as much fun as the students are right now. They're dancing up a storm.
Oh, and when the parade ends, the parties begin or continue. I guess.
Yeah,
more the correct
I was on the street at 10 o'clock today. Parties had already begun.
Judge Linda Davenport for Circuit Court, her contingent and supporters coming forward.
We're going to bring on one of the gentlemen who's instrumental in the website and social media side of the Elmhurst St. Pat's Parade. From Casco Communications, Todd Benson. Todd, how we doing?
John.
You've been up and down the parade route like 400 times now.
A very well-attended parade, our
Absolutely.
22nd annual, and great crowd, great weather, and all good.
So how many photos have you taken, and where can they see those photos?
Photos are available on our parade website, ElmhurstStPatsParade.com. We also take advantage of social media, Elmhurst St. Pat's Parade. Please take a look, and I'm sure we'll find some nice photos out there. appreciate everybody coming out and enjoying a great day here in Elmhurst.
Well, I know you had your camera in our face when the governor was here, so I expect to see some nice shots of that.
Say no more. Photos of all the Elmhurst people. It's all good.
And have an 8x10 glossy on my desk first thing in the morning.
Say no more. Thanks all of you again. Thanks for Comcast coming out to present this to the community as well.
Terrific. Thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Todd.
We've got Inland Bank just went by while we were talking briefly with Todd.
Elmhurst Children's Theater coming into your picture right now. It's a one of the groups that would be beneficiary of Elmhurst Center for Performing Arts, ECPA, which is a group in town moving forward with the hope and the dream of a performing arts center in Elmhurst, which would be just another jewel in the city's crown.
With the idea that it would be located within the downtown.
Well, that is their hope.
Yep. As a Chamber of Commerce, we've kept very interested in that project because that's visitor and tourism dollars. So if you can have a performing arts center that has concerts and theater or special events booked at it for, 325 days a year, and you're bringing in, 1,000 people every night into the downtown, that's good for the economy.
I got to interrupt you, though, because the Easter Bunny is here, I think.
Oh!
Well, maybe not.
No, it's Kicker from the.
Well, that's his day job.
Yeah, from the Little Kickers. It's a soccer program.
That's his day job. Then he's working on those eggs. You can't convince me otherwise.
Well, time's running short for him. If you've been in the train station,
you've seen Pilot Pete's.
And Pilot Pete's may have to adjust to a new location,
right?
Because Elmhurst has about 12 million of maybe 18 million needed to build a brand new train station in downtown Elmhurst. 10 million from a federal grant for transportation and another 2 million from other local grants.
And John, you won't believe it.
I don't, Ken.
But there's a trolley.
It can't be. We can't possibly have another trolley.
But it is. Well, I just heard over my headsets that maybe this is the same trolley car just circling around and coming through, and I guess that's feasible. I don't think it is, but we can find out afterwards.
Well, that was the Freemasons in that one. I don't think our producer's right unless they do it by trolley and error. Trolley and error.
Oh, that's a car of a different color. The Wandering Shamrocks Harmonica Band.
I'm wondering what they're playing.
Progressives for Change.
It's America.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not doing this in Russia today, folks.
Chicago dogs, John, and there appear to be a whole contingent of walking dogs. And I don't mean four-legged ones.
Please tell me they have samples. I think they're only handing out cards. Really? You don't have mini dogs to hand out? You don't? No mini dogs?
Wait a minute.
Oh. No, I think they're just like the fruit ones.
Yeah, I think you're right. But, they're new to the parade. I know this is new. I know I've never seen those folks before.
I just think it's a good thing we kept them away from the dog contingents. That could have gotten ugly. You ready to do some kicking?
Yeah. I think that person has an inflated image of themselves. Now we talk about Irish dancers, but we've got other athletes in the community.
We're about to let loose with kids with nunchucks.
Yes.
In my day, I got sent to my room for that. And if you're going to end a parade, end it with kids with nunchucks.
Right.
And that's exactly where we're at.
We're at the end of the parade, and of course, in a parade that had featured 5 or 6 trolleys, we end it with a garbage can, a garbage truck, rather. So I think that's probably appropriate too.
And again, the Jedi has made his way back.
Well, he just transported himself back to the end of the parade and is coming around again. Well, John, it's been a great parade, 22nd annual here on Spring Road in Elmhurst. We thank the organizers and the sponsors and all the participants, let alone all the thousands of people who came out here today.
And our friends at Elmhurst are kind of town.
Absolutely.
Always a great job. Crew, you did a terrific job. You don't see what they have to go through with the crowds and the walkers. We have the easy job here.
Absolutely. So for John Quigley of the Elmhurst Chamber, Ken Bartels from Community Bank of Elmhurst, 22nd Elmhurst St. Patrick's Day Parade on Spring Road. Enjoy your holiday, everyone.
Starting this fall, the City of Elmhurst will begin a citywide water meter changeout project requiring all residential and commercial water meters to be replaced. This project is needed because the majority of the city's meters are over 25 years old and have exceeded their life expectancy. The city has experienced many years of 18 to 20% of unaccounted for water. The city has hired Siemens as contractors to replace all water meters with highly accurate, non-moving part mechanical water meters that will aid in detecting leaks. The new water meters have the ability to provide on-demand reads as well as leak and tampering alerts and early identification of leaks before they surface. A customer portal will also be available for residents to electronically monitor for leaks and manage their water consumption online. Elmhurst water customers can expect to receive an introductory letter with project information. Project updates will regularly be posted on the city's website and social media pages. Residents are also encouraged to attend informational open house events that will be scheduled at City Hall. The water meter changeout project is expected to occur through spring of 2018 and is mandatory for all residents and businesses. The project will be completed in sections throughout the city. When Siemens is approaching a neighborhood, residents in the area will be sent a series of postcards requesting to schedule an appointment. Residents are asked to be responsive and schedule an appointment once this notification is received. The new water meter will be installed at no additional cost. Residents will be expected to have an adult over the age of 18 years old home at the time of appointment, which should take no more than 30 minutes to complete. Residents should attempt to locate their water meter in advance and ensure the meter is accessible for Siemens at the time of the appointment. On the date of the water meter changeout, the resident should take precautions and look for the logo on the installer's uniform and vehicle and make sure the installer's ID is visible before allowing the installer to enter the home. All of Siemens installers will be identified with an ID badge and will be driving marked vehicles. They will also be wearing project shirts with the project logo. Once the installer enters the home, residents will be asked to guide the installer to the location of the water meter. The installer will take the following steps to complete the water meter changeout. First, the installer will turn the water off at the main valve. Then the installer will exchange the old meter with the new meter. The installer will then turn the water back on, confirm proper flow direction, and inspect the installation to make sure no leaks are visible. The installer will connect the communication wire to the new meter and test to make sure a meter reading can be obtained. Finally, the installer will ensure that the work area is clean around the new water meter before leaving. During the installation process, the installer will take pictures of the old and new water meter. Once the water meter installation is complete, the installer will give the resident information on how to read the new meter and gain access to an online program called WaterSmart. WaterSmart is an online portal where residents can view account information, monitor daily water consumption, detect leaks, and set up notification alerts. The installer will also give the resident information on how to complete a customer service survey. Once the water meter is replaced, residents will receive a bill that will look the same as previous bills, but will include any remaining water use on the old meter, along with any cumulative use on the new meter. All subsequent bills will only include use from the new meter. A noticeable difference in the new bill will include uses registered in gallons versus cubic meters. Any billing questions should be directed to the city's utility billing department by calling 630-530-3111. The City of Elmhurst would like to thank all water customers for their cooperation during this important city project. Please visit www.elmhurst.org/water-meter-changeout for more information and to find out what area Siemens is currently working in. For questions on the installation process, please contact Siemens at 866-260-3176.
The teachers are extremely approachable.
The one-on-one interaction has really helped me find that passion.
I learned that no goal is too big.
They want you to network and then take risks because that's how it's going to be in your practical life.
They want us to succeed just as much as we do.
More of a learning experience, I think, outside of the classroom.
Various opportunities to really dive into different viewpoints.
Elmhurst fosters that environment of openness and everyone contributing to the greater good.
Elmhurst really challenges you to keep an open mind.
I went to Jamaica for 2 weeks. I came back with a whole new perspective.
They will make sure no matter what your interests are, what your career path is, that there is going to be a resource on campus that is going to help you find that potential and then reach it.
Through research, I've been able to go to all these new places, and I've also been able to really broaden my perspective.
We go in the field as pre-service teachers sophomore year.
I've exceeded what I thought at 18 years old walking on this campus that I could do.
Coming back to Elmhurst at my age has allowed me to see that, yes, I have the potential to do other things.
And it's helping me grow to be a better leader.
I feel like I've been more prepared than I have ever been before in my life.
I don't want to be a blank slate. I want there to be lots of dimensions to me.
I'm going to be able to do something that's going to matter in this world.
I want to be that voice for people that can't speak up for themselves.
Without this school, I don't think I would have gone after those motivations or those dreams.
The people around me and the resources the school has has allowed me to reach my potential.
Definitely ready for the real world.